I know a lot of people who are like, I had some people in my comment section the other day who are still talking about, hey, this seems like a great project to use, like, and had no idea that anything had actually happened to Arch Linux GUI. So why don't you just start by explaining sort of what's happened and why you made the decision you made?
Yeah, so when the project started growing, a lot of it came under the radar of a lot of people that were closer to the Arch team.
Mhm.
So there has been a lot of effort in the past to make a GUI installer for Arch Linux, and obviously that has never been put into practice because there's a common resentment within the, I don't know if I should put it like that, but there is a resentment in the Arch Linux the core team somewhere that a GUI installer shouldn't exist. If you look at the FAQs,
Mhm.
it's a debatable topic. Some
Yep.
people are for it and some are not. So it's, I would say, a 50-50 thing. But basically, when I started the project, my main goal was to solve three problems with the main Arch installer. So first is obviously the text user interface.
Yep.
Maybe that can be like ignored if we talk about how good the wiki is.
Sure.
But when you talk about things like, because the installation process is a lot online, you need to get connected to some kind of internet and then
Mm-hmm.
download packages. So it works for a lot of countries that really have good internet connection. But where I have personally experienced this when, like, before Reflector was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, downloading packages sucked, really. You would have kilobytes, and before Pac-Man 6 came out, this was really a big problem. So each and you didn't have parallel downloads, right? So
Yeah,
each
yeah,
and
yeah.
every package took a lot of time to download.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we had a option to install Arch Linux with all the packages frozen in time,
Mm-hmm.
so that we could get the entire operating system running without an internet connection? So that was one of the main uses, apart from having just a GUI installer.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that whenever you install Arch Linux on a computer, you usually need a second device. You you're watching the wiki, or you're watching
Sure,
a
yeah,
YouTube
okay, right.
video or a wiki. You need a laptop or a mobile phone, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So when you have a GUI installer, you have basically endless possibilities. You could use something like Calamares,
Mm-hmm.
or you could just use the wiki.
Yep.
And I basically recently did a video on how you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the main goal of the project. Now, like I said, there is a resentment whether a GUI should exist or not exist. And then the whole thing that transpired to be is that someone or somebody just told the Arch Linux team, hey, a project exists like this,
Mm-hmm.
and yada yada yada. So the Arch Linux team basically says this: you can't have something known as Arch Linux something.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
There are projects like Arch Linux ARM and Arch Linux 32. They are official projects because the Arch Linux team like says, yeah, this is the official Arch Linux
Yep.
sister project. That can't. So my project was basically violating that. So Arch Linux GUI kind of makes you think that this project is like affiliated to Arch Linux.
Mm.
So that was one of their problems that they pointed out. And secondly, they said that anything that uses vanilla Arch Linux in the like description or whatever on the website,
Mm-hmm.
you can't have vanilla Arch, because vanilla Arch Linux is basically Arch Linux installed via the command line installer with everything that's official. So
Mm-hmm.
not even the AUR. So I had a chat with Levente, who is the I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, he's the lead developer of Arch Linux.
Okay,
And
yep.
he told me that even an AUR helper like Paru or Ye,
Mm-hmm.
if that's there on the system, it's not vanilla Arch.
Right.
So
I can understand, like, coming from their perspective where they want to make sure the AUR is this sort of like weird separate thing. They know that everybody on Arch uses it and most people use an AUR helper, but they still want to like keep their like that weird separation there. I don't understand why. I understand like the internal logic that gets them to that position though.